Have you ever found yourself wondering if there's something more you could be doing, not because you have to, but because you want to? Something meaningful, engaging, maybe even fun, that adds a spark to your days and a bit of extra money in your pocket? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, you're not alone. Later in life, many people begin to feel a quiet tug towards something new, something that feels like a fresh start without undoing everything they've already built. That's where the idea of a side hustle comes in. Not a high-pressure job or a full-time commitment, but a passion project with a potential to become something more. The beauty of starting a side hustle in your senior years is that it doesn't have to be grand or complicated. It simply has to feel like the right fit for where you are in life right now. Whether it's turning a long-time hobby into a little income, offering advice in an area where you've built up decades of wisdom, or learning something completely new just to see where it leads, this journey can be as creative and flexible as you want it to be. What matters most is that it's something you genuinely enjoy and feel inspired to explore. Let's begin by talking about the mindset that makes all of this possible. Many people assume that side hustles are only for the young or the tech-savvy, but that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, later in life can be the perfect time to try something different. You likely have more patience, clearer priorities, and a deeper understanding of your own strengths than you did in your earlier years. That combination creates a powerful foundation for any new venture, even one that starts small. And let's not forget, experience counts for a lot. What might seem like second nature to you, gardening, organizing, writing, teaching, crafting, could be exactly what someone else is looking to learn or pay for. One of the most rewarding places to begin is with your own interests. Think about the things you've always loved doing but never had enough time to fully enjoy. Maybe you've spent years baking beautiful breads and pastries for family and friends. Why not try selling a few at the local market? Or perhaps you've always had a knack for fixing things, whether it's furniture, electronics, or sewing repairs. That kind of practical know-how is deeply appreciated, especially in communities where not everyone has the skills or the time to do it themselves. If you love animals, you could consider offering pet sitting services. If storytelling excites you, perhaps self-publishing a memoir or starting a blog could be your path. Don't overlook the digital world either. It may seem intimidating at first, but once you get comfortable, it opens up a huge range of options. People later in life are finding joy in selling handcrafted goods online, offering virtual tutoring or coaching, or even launching small YouTube channels to share what they know. And you don't have to go it alone. There are plenty of simple tools and platforms out there designed to walk you through the process, step by step. The important thing is to take that first small leap and trust that you can learn as you go. Starting something new doesn't have to mean taking big risks. You can begin with what you already have, your time, your skills, your stories, and your interests. There's no pressure to turn it into a full-blown business unless that's what you want. The key is that you feel excited, curious, and connected to what you're doing. That alone can bring new purpose and momentum into your daily life. And once you've taken that first step, even if it's as simple as jotting down a few ideas or mentioning your plans to a friend, you may find that things begin to flow more naturally than you expected. Confidence builds with action, not before it. And the good news is you already have everything you need to begin. Right now, right where you are. Now that we've started uncovering what's possible when you say yes to the idea of a side hustle, let's continue by exploring some practical ways you can begin shaping that idea into something real. When it comes to shaping your side hustle into something real, the key lies in taking small, thoughtful actions that align with what already feels familiar and enjoyable. You don't need to build everything at once or have a detailed plan. It can begin as simply as testing the waters, letting curiosity guide your steps, and seeing what resonates both with you and others. That's often how the most fulfilling ventures take root, quietly and organically, without pressure. One of the first things that can help bring clarity is observing what people often come to you for. Maybe it's your homemade jam, your calm advice during stressful times, or your knack for simplifying paperwork and organizing chaos. These natural gifts often go unnoticed because they come so easily to you, but they're exactly the kind of thing others value and would gladly pay for. That's where opportunity starts, not by inventing something new, but by recognizing what's already there, waiting to be shared in a fresh way. Once you've spotted something that sparks your interest, the next step is finding a space to offer it. It could be through your local community, a church bulletin board, a farmer's market, or even a Facebook group that matches your niche. You'd be amazed how quickly word spreads when your heart is genuinely in it. There's something magnetic about someone doing what they love, and that energy tends to attract support, encouragement, and customers, even in unexpected ways. Some of the most successful side hustles in later life are built not on big, dramatic moves, but on simple consistency. Showing up for a few hours a week, offering value, and letting others know what you do can gently grow into something bigger over time. There's no need to chase trends or rush the process. This isn't about climbing a ladder, it's about creating something that brings you satisfaction and maybe even a sense of legacy. It's also important to allow room for discovery. You might start down one path and realize it's not quite the fit you hoped. That's not a setback, it's information. You're learning, adjusting, trying something new, and every bit of that counts. Flexibility can be your greatest ally because, unlike a traditional career, this chapter isn't about meeting deadlines or impressing bosses. It's about following where your enthusiasm leads and creating something that adds light to your days. Support plays a big role here too. Surrounding yourself with even one or two people who believe in what you're doing can make a world of difference. They don't need to be experts, they just need to cheer you on. And with so many free resources now available online, you can learn almost anything at your own pace. Whether it's setting up a small website, learning to price your work, or understanding how to receive payment securely, these skills are all within reach, no matter when you begin. Keep in mind that your side hustle doesn't have to serve everyone. It just has to connect with the right few. A small group of loyal customers or supporters can be more rewarding than a large, impersonal audience. Focusing on people who genuinely appreciate what you offer creates not only a source of income, but also a meaningful exchange, one that feels personal, fulfilling, and rooted in connection. As you continue exploring what this journey could look like for you, remember that the most important ingredient is belief in your experience, your value, and your ability to begin. You've already lived through countless changes, adapted more times than you can count, and grown in ways that younger people are only starting to imagine. That makes you not only capable, but uniquely equipped to bring something beautiful into the world, right now. Let's keep going and uncover how your side hustle can begin to fit seamlessly into your lifestyle without adding stress or taking away from the freedom you've earned. As your idea begins to take shape and you start offering your skills or creations in small ways, one of the most valuable things to remember is that your time is entirely your own. This is not about filling every hour or replacing relaxation with obligation. It's about weaving something new into your routine in a way that feels easy, energizing, and rewarding. A side hustle in your senior years isn't meant to take over. It's meant to enhance, to bring a sense of purpose that complements the calm you've worked hard to cultivate. Often, it's in the quiet consistency that something truly meaningful begins to grow. You might spend a morning fulfilling a few small orders, an afternoon writing a chapter of a book you've always wanted to share, or an hour responding to kind messages from people who appreciate your perspective. There's no rush, no race. What matters is that you're creating something that feels like yours, a project born from your life, your wisdom, and your joy. It also helps to stay open to moments of surprise. Sometimes a casual conversation or a spontaneous idea can lead you in a direction you hadn't considered. Maybe a friend asks you to teach them something you take for granted, and that turns into a small workshop or a virtual course. Or maybe someone shares your work with a neighbor, and suddenly your weekend hobby becomes a cherished local offering. These little ripples tend to form when you're engaged in something that lights you up from the inside out. There's also a subtle kind of empowerment that comes from having your own little venture. It reinforces a sense of independence, which becomes even more precious later in life. Not just financial independence, but emotional and mental autonomy, the feeling that you're still actively shaping your days, contributing to the world around you, and growing in new directions. That sense of movement and momentum is deeply life-giving. If doubts ever creep in, remember that starting something new doesn't mean you have to prove anything to anyone. It's not about competition, and it's certainly not about comparison. Your story, your journey, your voice, those are all uniquely yours, and that's what people will connect with. Whether you sell a few handmade items, publish your thoughts, offer a helping hand, or simply explore what feels interesting, you're doing something powerful by stepping into that creative space. Even if your efforts begin modestly, the impact can be profound. Not just for others, but for you. You may find yourself smiling more, feeling more alert, or waking up with a renewed sense of anticipation. That inner spark, once ignited, tends to glow brighter with every step forward. And even if you pause or change direction, the fact that you tried, really tried, can fill you with a quiet pride that lingers. So, if you've been waiting for a sign to begin something of your own, this is it. There's no perfect time, no flawless plan, and no need to have everything figured out. There's only now, this moment, this breath, this idea taking shape in your heart. And that is more than enough to begin. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts or stories in the comments. And if you'd like more encouragement, tips, and inspiration for living well in your senior years, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Here's to new beginnings, bold steps, and the beautiful adventures still waiting to unfold.